trayamevaitat devanugrahetukam manushyatvang mumukshutvam mahapurusha saṅśrayaha. Durlabhang, rare to obtain. Trayam, three. Eva, verily. Etat, this. Devanugraha hetukam, caused by the grace of the Lord. Manushyattvam, manhood. Mumukshatvam, burning desire for liberation. Mahapurusha saṅśrayaha, refuge of a great man of wisdom. There are three things which are rare indeed and are due to the grace of God, namely a human birth, the longing for liberation, and the protecting care of a perfected sage.
Namaste. So, what is value? Value means that the demand exceeds the supply. Those things that are rare, hardly ever found, like Picasso paintings or gold, are valuable precisely because they're rare. So many things in this world, diamonds, Lamborghinis, are considered extremely valuable because of their rarity. But what in personal life is extremely rare? Well, here three things are given, and they're all due to the grace of God. Well, what does that mean? Well, let's take the first one, a human birth. A human birth is the result of good karma. What to speak of birth as a brahmana, an intelligent person who is capable of approaching the absolute truth. This is very rare. But still, it is the result of our work, our karma. It's not something that just drops out of the sky. You have to earn it. You have to work for it. But then God reciprocates, God being the laws of the cosmos, the inviolable principles, like karma. Then the longing for liberation. Well, this can only arise when the mind has been purified. Again, by our own work, by sadhana, by study of the scriptures, by performance of rituals and so on, worshiping God. God is only the object of the ritual. The result of the ritual is that one gets mumukshutvam, desire for liberation. This is a rare thing. Look around you. How many people are going through life, I should say muddling through, without any clear object or direction? But we have that knowledge that liberation is possible. So we can strive for it. That knowledge is a very rare thing in this world. People tend to reject religious knowledge as being impractical or simply faith, imagination, or whatever. But it's actually true. And when we accept these principles, the only possible result is that we want to get out of this conditioned existence. We want to go back to our original mode of existence, unconditioned, Brahman. And that's liberation. And the third thing that's exceedingly rare is the protection of a liberated sage. Now, I've been in this enlightenment business long enough to know that most of the people who pretend to teach this liberation, this Advaita, this non-dual knowledge, are not practitioners. They're only theoretical. They read the book and then they parrot the words, but they don't live the life, and they certainly don't have the conscious qualities of one who is actually liberated. Because in this world, everyone is caught up in the adoration of objects. Very few people turn around and adore the self, meaning myself, yourself, the self. There's only one. And we have just gotten some great news that logicians have proven the logical consistency of Śaṅkarācārya's Kevala Advaita philosophy. Now, this is not the same thing as proving that it's true. You have to do that yourself, and then you will experience the result. But the point is, they have determined that the theory itself is logically consistent. And if you change any of the logical assertions, it becomes false. We're going to get into this in a separate series. This is big news, though. So this theory or this doctrine or this philosophy of Kevala Advaita is absolutely logically perfect. Even a big supercomputer cannot find any flaws in it. So what to speak of human beings? Any objections they make are simply due to their ignorance and their addiction to the habits of material existence, conditioned life, and suffering. If you want to be free from suffering, you have to realize you are not that which suffers. That is the body and mind. And those are not the self. The self is the observer, the witness of the body and mind. The body and mind exist within the self, not the other way around. So we'll be getting into all these subtle, logical, and philosophical points in this series, because this is one of the source documents that discusses everything in detail. And putting that into a larger framework of logical consistency of the Advaita theory, which we're going to do, like I said, in a separate series. But they're absolutely connected and intertwined, because if one does not believe that this Advaita theory is correct, how can one do the practice? One has to at least provisionally accept it as true before one can act on it. Isn't it? Just like you have to know that your boss is going to pay you at the end of the month to go to work for him. Isn't it? You have to have faith, at least 1 month faith. So we're saying you have to have at least as much faith in the teaching of Advaita to do these practices and consistently perform them and get the result. Yeah, it's going to take a little time. It's going to take some personal effort. But that effort has to be based on the confidence that it is going to turn out to be true. So faith is an important ingredient here. And all of these things that come due to the grace of God are actually within the scope of our accomplishments. We can do the process that results in the grace of God. We can do the meditation that results in self-realization. And we can do the sadhana that results in liberation. So the grace of God is actually in response to our sincere efforts to approach the truth, to realize the factual doctrine that describes the reality, the absolute reality, which is consistent from one individual to another. It is not just subjective, but it is the actual reality of the self. That is Kevala Dvaita.
Tat Sat Om Shakti Om